Santelli in Chicago, talking to Senator Jerry Moran about some regulation and the drought. Morning, Rick.
Good morning, Carl, and welcome, Senator. Senator Moran, Republican, Kansas, and only two topics I want to talk about today, Senator. One is agriculture. The other is about a resignation comment you made 2 weeks ago. Let's start with the easier one. I'm looking at corn right now down 22 cents and new crop $7.62. I see soybeans down 50 cents. On the Kansas side, how much precipitation have you gotten, and what is the feeling in Kansas about the crop?
Well, I appreciate these questions about agriculture. Agriculture has been a driving force, a positive aspect to our nation's economy. Not so today based upon weather patterns. For the last month, we've had virtually no rainfall in Kansas, and the temperatures have exceeded 100 degrees every day. So the mood is pretty bleak. Our state's economy and certainly our attitude is very much affected by whether or not there's moisture. And the predictions are virtually that nothing in the forecast that's very positive anytime soon.
No, when it rains in the Chicagoland area, the old saying was when it rains on LaSalle Street, you see big sell-offs. Believe me, 22 cents in corn is a sell-off, not big. Now let's go to the other story. About 12 days ago, you, Senator, called for the resignation of the head of the CFTC, Gary Gensler. And your reasons? Well, after Peregrine Financial Group, after MF Global, it seems a bit ironic from my perspective. He's still writing regulations for Dodd-Frank, but I think he's fallen asleep at the switch. Do we really need more regulators when these two issues are so glaring and nothing that the regulators saw seemed to raise flags? This is really reprehensible. Do you still want to see Mr. Gensler's resignation? And do you think this is going to catch on?
Well, I don't call for anyone's resignation without some thought and serious thought. And in my view, you said it very well, which is the CFTC and its chairman, he needs to provide the leadership in which the CFTC is focused on its primary function of overseeing the futures markets. And you have MF Global followed by Peregrine, and 0 for 2 and perhaps 0 for 3 when you look at LIBOR. 0 for 3 suggests to me that we need a change there. And what you said is so present in my view of the CFTC. Chairman Gensler has been all about implementation of Dodd-Frank to the absence of a focus upon that primary core function of protecting consumers here in the United States. We have not seen it, and in fact, I'm the ranking Republican on the committee that has the CFTC's appropriation bill. It's always about more money and more employees for purposes of implementing Dodd-Frank. And I'm happy to have that discussion, but I want to make certain we've not walked away from what needs to be done to protect consumers in Kansas and across the country. And the evidence is they have.
Yes, and Senator, we need beat cops. I understand that. Capitalism needs beat cops. But, you remember that car about 10, 15 years ago, the Hugo? It seems to me that the CFTC reminds me of a Hugo, okay? They didn't monitor the NFA good enough. We were taking P.O. box numbers for clients' confirmation of money. That seems at the epicenter of some of this. But if you take a Hugo, a really not so good car, and you put really great options on it, is that a wise idea? We're building on this regulatory platform, and it's obviously flawed way down at the bottom of the food chain, Senator. Do we need a completely different system?
Well, before you take and add more responsibilities to the CFTC, we need to make certain that they can do the basics. In my view, Chairman Gensler has been focused on the new responsibilities to the exclusion of the old responsibilities. And I would expect that every response to what I say would be by Chairman Gensler was we need more resources. I would remind our viewers that we have doubled the resources, the dollars that go to CFTC. We've added hundreds of new employees. To me, it's a matter of priority and focus and approach, not a matter of just how many dollars we have.
Absolutely. You know what? Facebook is free. Why don't they just have the regulators friend all the banks? How easy would that be to see if the money's really there? Thanks, Senator. Carl, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rick Santelli. A few minutes left in Europe's trading day. We'll have the close and what that means for the afternoon session after a short break. Don't go away.